here. This audience is still alive. This audience is still alive as we're going to go into our last series of the night. Let's get game one underway. ViCi versus Beast Coast. Kyle, maybe we should talk about some Dota and not just some people. It seems the panel, they're leaning the way of Beast Coast. The odds may not support it, but they're leaning the way of Beast Coast.
Indeed they are. It's a long day for this squad from South America. They blamed their first day of groups on the jet lag. I'm sure that they'd have a similar excuse where they'd lose this one, but I don't think they will, Toby.
No, there's no excuse. Well, okay, they were up pretty early in the morning as well. So were we, to be here for the first series. And that went for a long time. It was like 5 hours total to get through their first series they had to play today. Then they got some time to chill and relax. At least for them, it was only 2-0. Like, it was less downtime, and there's less time to get a little rusty and slow.
And talk about it, they were about 4 seconds away from losing that series, cutting it about as close as you can. Now up against a relatively unconventional lineup from ViCi in that they're running a mid puck. You've got a Clockwork. We don't see this hero ever, although I will say, Jakiro, Coddle, Bloodseeker, these heroes hate playing against a Clockwork. I'm not surprised to see it picked up in the sense that it's good matchup, but it's also something not meta.
It's something ViCi make it their meta. Like I was bringing up in the Vodafone view before, where like Clockwork has just become that thing where they've been running it in the 3 role, but now it's PYW who's playing the Clockwork, but it's that flex thing. And I put a lot of props to ROTK for just knowing like what he was drafting. They burnt all their time on the last pick and last ban. They knew like they were not going to have the very, very last pickups. They need to make it work perfectly, and he just like fired through the Ogre, the Conker, the Clock, the Morphling. There was no downtime for Beast Coast to think as well.
Yeah, I think we want to focus up mostly on the Eurus, aka Paparazzi's Morphling here. He is certainly the win condition for ViCi. Their mid-game timing isn't quite as powerful as Beast Coast's, who once again have that patented K1 Bloodseeker. Arguably his best hero, perhaps just slightly behind his Wraith King. We've seen him take over multiple games throughout the groups.
Schofield, he's getting a little crafty, trying to attack into Eurus, the artist formerly known as Paparazzi. As both the supports understand their jobs. DY is harassing Whisper.
No sentry ward down bottom either, so won't be much you can do to stop the Coddle Sanking from just constantly shoving out this wave. Maybe grab some denies for free. Ori doing exactly what you got to do as Puck against TA. Push the wave, get the double wave underneath tower, and just right-click that TA. The only way you win this lane is if you can do very well in these first couple of waves, and he's played it perfectly. It's exactly how it's done.
It's when he's missing refraction charges, right? Like he's only got side blades available. And even then, like, it feels like he can just get through it. Top lane's having its own fun as well. Zhao Yi. Stinger staying very close and harassing him down while Clockwork's doing the wave pull. Trying to mess with the equilibrium of the lane of Bloodseeker. Another Coddle Blast, well off target.
Yeah, it's going to be some trades in both lanes, to be honest. Top, we might see some action. Jakiro Bloodseeker is such a formidable lane. And look how aggressive they're playing under tower.
Just because the wave got pulled. Because PYW did this, now Zhao Yi can feel a lot more comfortable fighting between the towers. But the creep wave pushes into the tier 1 tower too. This kind of isolates the Clockwork so they can slow him up. He's looking for the Clockwork cogs. He'll trap the Bloodseeker in underneath the tier 1 tower. Cuts his way free, the torrent. There's a simple combination to do. Just one good AoE control and then the follow-up. While on bottom, you have your own little fight. There's, yep, PYW back behind the tower. Keeping us on our toes.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god. Even Ori is jaunting forward to try and attack into Chris Sluck.
They placed that mid ward first, so Chris Sluck brings himself a sentry.
Oh my god, it's a 2-man cog up on top, going to combine with a torrent. Both go flying up to the AK1. He's so low, actually takes the burn from the cogs, and there's one last hit from Zhao Yi to do it. Stinger body blocked up a little bit. It's actually the battery assault making it difficult to retreat. And VG Gaming.
Too much overconfidence, Toby. Bloodseeker had a salve, but wanted to heal up using his Q, ends up getting cogged in. It's a child's play then for Zhao Yi to just drop a torrent, immediately pops up both. They end up with a double kill here. Bloodseeker's worst fear is this combative type of duel lane. You want to be able to whittle down your opponents, abuse your ability to regen for free. Once you go down, it's very easy to be the victim of a snowball against you.
I was actually wondering if they'd try and change their lanes up. BSJ was like flagging up the importance of Bloodseeker being able just to spam out his abilities. Less useful when it comes to a Sand King, but this presence on the bottom lane has definitely had one good positive thing, and that's the fact that Eurus, he's currently 9-2 on the CS. It's not fantastic, he's the same as the Sand King, but he's definitely not keeping up with the Bloodseeker, but it won't matter if Bloodseeker continues to die. Stinger tried to create some space, but unable to do so. In fact, he was used for the Tiebringer. So all that CS won't mean anything when his net worth is still only number 3, behind both Kunkka and Puck.
They're doing incredibly well up top. Not CSing well. It's 7 CS on the Kunkka to 18 on K1. But when you get a couple of kills, you really don't mind. Just too much aggression. And you've got to... The way this top lane works is Beast Coast would always be able to out-harass, but they will die if they misstep, and they've done it 3 times. Bottom, 13-3 on the Morph, 13-2 on the Sand King. Completely even. You were very happy with this if you reach Gaming. Especially when you consider your mid lanes actually being won by the Puck. Very disadvantageous matchup, too.
With the rotation from Clockwork, Chris Luck feels a little bit more pressure. The timing's a little bit off, however, but K1 sees the opportunity. Zhao Yi being dived onto the tier 1 tower, and K1 with that high movement speed. Not only can he get the kill, he can get out, but then Clockwork comes in low on life as well.
Now, he was walking back to base and actually roaming towards middle at just half HP, half mana, as you can see, but TP's in to try and save his ally, but K1 had actually popped a Sal while running under tower, so he was full HP, nothing doing there.
That means Clockwork, at least he can get some charges up, some salve and clarity action. They even get a quick torrent over on the Bloodseeker, but he'll do the blood right, try and fight inside this. Support's coming in from the Jakiro, but Bloodseeker just moves into the trees. Up to 4-7, 480 movement speed.
Yep, they're really low down bottom. He's very strong.
In fact, Whisper just keeps the Ogre stunned up, allowing this top fight to go so well for him. Kunkka low on life. Stinger's getting the body block out, and Zhao Yi will get mown down. This is all for the 5-minute bounty runes as well. That's what the battle on bottom lane's for. A Burrow Strike from Whisper, still on cooldown, even with the stick charges. Now we can trigger them and go for that Burrow if he wants to. DY looking for some movement speed, but looks like Beast Coast will have to continuously chase him up. He doesn't have a TP scroll available, and he's kind of stranded. What are they? I think they're
just going to leave him. They see he doesn't have TP. Who cares if this Ogre runs around throughout your map?
On top lane they go again. That combat lane of Ori. And PYW doing its work.
Bloodseeker's got to be the only carry that can die twice in the laning phase and come back and still start dominating the lane. He's top net worth in this game on the Bloodseeker. And a big part of it, all you need is phase boots and somebody in a side lane to get low. All of a sudden, you saw it, you're running around hasted, easily find those counter kills. Coil's up on Puck now, might look to make a move, but no huge openings here. Can't really kill a TA. And Bloodseeker, especially at full HP, is tough to take down as well.
And I'm actually kind of liking this from Skullfield. Knowing like if Morphling wants to Agi-morph up, he's got to take the blast, and it's rather dangerous when SK is there for a Burrow Strike as well. Having just to balance that morph.
And it makes a lot of conceptual sense, right? You've got a Coddle Sand King, you're just going to keep spamming, try and harass down that carry. You don't find kills, but it doesn't matter. The Bloodseeker is going to always be able to use that extra MS and attack speed.
Nice denial of rune. Schofield all over it. And Ori really wanted that. He needed to have that bottle start to fill up. Because Chris Luck is going into the jungle. Like, he's able to stack and farm. There's no pressure that's also being applied. And Ori, even with half life and enough mana for one orb and a Dream Coil, he's still rotated down. So you'll orb and do the Rift instead. And Keeper of the Light will fall. But this is a very long, slow walk.
Yeah.
You'll get a shrine. You'll get a shrine.
Like I say, it's just a little, it's next door, Toad.
Uh-huh.
You can walk, no problem. This helps out Eurus a lot, too.
It's worth missing 2 creep waves in the mid.
Debatable.
Like most things in Dota.
There's really no right or wrong answers, right? Well, there are.
Not until you can prove them. And double TA traps down for Chris Luck. He feels very secure in this lane. Difficult for anyone to really rotate and gank him, not unless Clockwork has 6. Burrow Strike goes once again. This time it's onto the Ogre. 900 HP is a lot to get through, however. That blast ready to come in from Keeper of the Light. Hits hard into Eurus. Doesn't connect onto DY, however. And that allowing Eurus to go a little bit harder, actually underneath the tower. Looking to chase Whisper? I don't think so. Changes into the SK in case he needed that extra stun.
I like that he picked up the early point in Morph. It's so effective in a lane like this. Anytime you could take over a Sand King into a stun like that, you find a kill no problem if you ever get in range of the Coddle.
I like how he's trying to be efficient as well with his tango. Edging up now with a stun. Keeper of the Light doesn't have a lot of life to work with, but coming up closer towards the SK is not something Morphling can be aggressive on. Look at these Obs versus Obs battle on top lane underneath the tier 1 tower. And those allowing Bloodseeker to look for the dive, and Clockwork just has to TP away to safety. But this now isolates up Xiaoyi. He's totally alone, and he will not be able to retreat. Almost 700 movement speed on this Bloodseeker. 8.5 minutes in, you just can't escape from this. And Coddle, same kind of situation for him. Follow up Dream Coil, Sandstorm, they brought Dust, so DY revealing Whisper. He doesn't want to outrun this, but it won't matter. Eurus will line up, he'll be ready for that waveform to find the kill if he even needs it. Save the mana, nope, he'll come down for it.
Nice kill. He does force 2 heroes back to base, but of course you do lose your 2 heroes in the lane. Now I want to point out that stack we just had a little window on for TA. Chris Luck's done that hit all by his lonesome this entire game. That is a 5 stack, but if anybody's watching this and you're a coach prepping for this team, Beast Coast, he does this every single game. And if you invade this jungle around this timing, 9 minutes or so, he hits level 9 and just starts moving straight towards the jungle. Always seems to have a ward to protect him. This is what Beast Coast like to do. You protect Chris Luck, and when K1's on Bloodseeker, he's the one that gets aggressive.
What I like to is they kind of set that up as well in the draft, where like you ban out the axe, you make sure even if somebody does find this, it can't be farmed. No one on ViCi Gaming, even if they knew about it, can clear it. So invading it, you can only try and contest him if he's low. Clockwork Cogs does not catch out the SK on bottom. And Chris Luck not only taking the tier 1 tower, but he's almost playing this like a broodmother. Keep the attention on this mid lane.
Dude, Bloodseeker, he's gonna have a Maelstrom in like a minute and a half. This is going so well for Beast Coast. If you think about how they like to script their victories, this is how it's done. Their 2 cores, top of the net worth charts. The other 3 heroes
getting trashed.
Just stun around, help team fight.
10-minute bounty runes.
Would you say getting trashed? Is that what you said?
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never say such a harsh thing.
They're not doing too bad.
I'm seeing Jakiro down very, very low.
The less net worth you have, the less gold the enemy team gets when they kill you.
Is that the way it still works? If that's the case, I think the next patch needs to change. So K1's taking part of this stack, and here we go where Puck is able. He actually got majority off that double stack to the left with the orb, thanks to the K1 Blood Right doing a lot of damage.
And I like what they've done here. No one else can really lane against Bloodseeker, right? However, no one can when he's 500 move speed.
It's like, hey, Morphling, can you stop sitting at 1/3 of your HP? I know you could strength morph out of it, but you're kind of buffing the Bloodseeker.
This entire game, Paparazzi, or Eurus rather, just helping K1, to your point. He's got 422 move speed. He had 485 with phase popped. You look at this.
Oh, Clockwork, Hulk shots himself in, able to control the Templar Assassin, nowhere to hide. They throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at Chris Luck. Refraction charge will wear up, he's got Mel, but it won't matter. Still dusted up. And that's a good, successful rotation in from ViCi Gaming.
No towers to be taken, though. ViCi are ahead in the kills, 8-3, but they aren't able to really deal with objectives ever. You consider Beast Coast not just have these 2 strong cores, but Jakiro as well, who will always be able to shove lanes with ease.
But that's the way their lineup works. Like, it's momentum in lanes, it's not direct tower damage. Not until Morphling becomes beyond beastly.
I'm not sure I'm buying this Lincoln's, though, for Eurus.
Oh, nice catch again. BYW just holding Stinger in position. The Blood Right will arrive, causing a couple of problems for the Clockwork. And now with the Will-O-Wisp, they're being dragged back with the Blind Light, meaning there's going to be a secondary pulse onto PYW. Even the Dream Core trying to create a little bit more space. The Clockwork, the Cotter Blast brings him low, but the stick charges. Not to mention the raindrop pop that happened previously. Saving his life, another Blood Right. Looks like Bloodseeker may be forced into a battle. He's still got good movement speed, but DY, there's your multicast he's searching for. Schofield, maybe more space being created. Rupture on DY. That's a lot of fat to bleed. And Jakiro will try and do something about him as the Puck orbs forward, but Templar Assassin now joins this fight as well. Ogre is being soloed up by Jakiro. The TP out will be successful. The boat will fall down. Kunka cannot complete his TP out in time, but Ogre will.
Dude, K1, like, it's so difficult to do what he seems to do with relative ease as this Bloodseeker. He moves so quickly. The only reason he gets that kill is because he's in and out of that boat radius immediately, able to get there, a timely Maelstrom proc to secure the kill. Bottom lane, again, Paparazzi, Eurus, he's just giving away so much move speed to this Bloodseeker.
He doesn't really have much of a choice, though.
Yeah.
He keeps getting harassed down. Whisper went for this Veil build-up,
Yeah.
trying to get as much damage in as possible. Both the abilities he's leveling up. Magical.
I'm real concerned that ViCi are not going to be able to keep up with Beast Coast's tempo here. How many times have we seen this squad get their core items up and just start running around the map? A Lincoln's on Eurus, a Veil into Blink on the puck. Nobody's going to be able to make moves for some time.
Keeping the silence over on the Sand King. Has Dreamcall available, will end up using it, but now, well, the dust. Sand King still revealed, has his own Burrow Strike, but looks like Eurus can use it better. Keeps the stun up and allows Ari to get the kill. Hastrun making that rotation to bottom lane very quick.
Deso up on TA. They're going to smoke right into the Roche pit. This is a huge play if they're able to sneak it.
Can ViCi fight? Like, if they work this out, like sentry wards being planted, they're looking for information, top lane, Rupture, attention, gets pulled towards Clockwork, who hook shots himself out. Of course, that Rupture's still gonna have its effect. Battery Assault won't do much. K1's found the kill, and Roshan down 1/3 of his HP already. It feels like Beast Coast is they're playing magician. Look at my left hand. I'm doing something with my right.
That's just sick, and I love this. The Coddle just sat there, smoked. He's just spamming mana on, or Chakra rather, on Chris-Lock, continuously refreshing that refraction, that melt cooldown, and it's dead immediately. Max, Meld, Deso. It is 14 minutes in, and Beast Coast are rolling. 2K net worth lead on the rest of the enemy heroes that K1 currently has in possession. Already with Yasha, Maelstrom. Once he buys that BKB, what the hell do you do as ViCi Gaming? You can hookshot him, sure. But other than that, you got absolutely no way of stopping K1 from running rampant onto your back lines. I'm telling you, this is Beast Coast's game right now. They can just continue to play their style. And unlike what Wind and Rain did, I really feel like Beast Coast have the edge.
Burrow Strike begins it. They have the Rupture, but it's Chris-Lock with a double damage rune. They need to catch out Eurus, the TP. Oh, the Burrow Strike from Whisper, barely too close away. Morphling up to the top lane. He wasn't even TPing home. He went to the north. Look at Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, I'll just agi shift this.
But what this means is that because Eurus TP'd all the way top, they see him. There's no way he's going to be able to get bottom. This will be a free tier 2 for Beast Coast. You cannot fight into this lineup right now. They are far too strong.
And they just used the fortification to keep the creep wave alive on top. Puck will TP in behind the tower. He'll orb to reveal himself, but Jakira is wrapping around the back. You got Keeper of the Light here. Clockwork throws a rocket, double TP's also on the way. Sand King still has Burrow Strike. Dust will reveal him, trying to play inside the trees. Blood Right's going to be there. Is there going to be the stun? Is there going to be a good target? DY's already dropped down to the Templar Assassin. Whisper is just playing inside the trees. There goes your Burrow Strike. He's played so long, the dust is worn off. Hookshot forward is able to connect. He's in range of the tier 1 tower. That's the only reason they saw him, but they're just committing so hard under the tier 1 tower. VG Gaming throwing their bodies against the wall.
What did I just say? It's 4-on-5. I don't care if the Coddle was used. This is not a fight you can take. This squad is way too strong. Oh, nice try on that Blinding Light and Ice Bath.
That's a little bit too far away, but hey, Bloodseeker's here. Anybody want to go into a Blood Right? Oh, good blink away by Ori. He'll dodge being silenced, but now tier 1 and tier 2 tower drop.
Yeah, we can watch this replay. It's just too much aggression, too much confidence. TA has an Aegis. The entire squad is here. They mass teleport in one at a time, but there's just no levels. Level 9 on the Conga, level 8 on the Clockwork. What are these guys supposed to do? All the spell being used on Chris, like he has Aegis. Even if you were able to kill him there, who cares? K1, although, oh my god, he actually got way lower than I surmised at first.
But this is Bloodseeker playing life on the edge. And his next fight will get stronger and stronger. It's also great watching his item builds. Like, no, I'm not going to complete the Manta. No, I don't need a Mjolnir. The BKB's on the way, but I got like 3 half items at the moment.
Yep.
But it all works in. Mjolnir as well as Yasha increase that farming speed, increase the damage he's putting out during the fights. And it makes it like it's... Like, how many times have we seen, like, Hand of Mines is picked up and we start having that debate of, like, what is useful net worth? This feels like 100% useful net worth. The smoke gang's coming in. Jakiro will be the primary target underneath the shrine. I love how K1 only now just realizes this. Maybe I should stop farming.
They got him, but once again, that's the second or third time I've seen a huge rotation from ViCi just to find the one kill. Maybe you're able to get this bot tower. We'll see.
But they'll lose the tier 1 tower. Yeah, he's been hit pretty hard by Chris-Lock, and Chris doesn't want to bring the tower within deny range.
It's the smoke on the way. Beast Coast, they identify, hey, this is an objective. We're going to get off map. We're going to go look to press something here. Chris-Lock, as you said, he's got the blink dagger.
Eurus is already leaving.
Oh, courier. Whoa, uphill miss?
On tower?
Tower's up, what?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It was fortified for a little bit.
That definitely missed, right?
And I didn't see a miss icon appear above his head, but yeah.
Go figure.
But I'm not saying a courier can't disjoint, so yeah, it has to have missed.
Oh God, not again. ViCi game. You really want to fight top? They've got a blink on the Sand King waiting in the wings, hiding left side trees. There's no vision up for ViCi, and there's traps all over the place. This is very dangerous.
All right, okay, so let's have a look. Courier comes in, fortifies up, it's fine. Here's the tower attack.
Yeah, it's an uphill miss.
And he went over 2 different hills.
All right, I've never seen that interaction before.
There you go. Dota. Lincoln's Sphere is now completed on the Morphling, so that took 18 minutes. Doesn't give a lot of burst power, but it does make it more difficult for Bloodseeker just to straight up rupture him.
But he wasn't the rupture target in the first place. What it doesn't help him with is the raw survivability to just right clicks. These carries of Beast Coast, they possess the entire net worth lead right now, and there's so much raw damage output.
Yeah, looking at the trees. Nice path will fly, but it's already too late. PYW is left. Everyone's in retreat, but Chris Luck's on the attack. He's looking for DY, hits him with the melt, blinks down, 4 attacks will do it. Hits the combo quite nicely, and X marks spot just allows Zhao Yi to run
Really
away.
nice movement there. He meld strikes the initial stun animation, then blinks behind to get that bonus attack off. Turn rate, ensuring the Ogre Magi's demise. And I got a question, did some of the item choices from ViCi, like, it's just so slow. They also have no medallion, there's no armor items picked up whatsoever. Kunkka is rushing a pipe, which in theory is great. It's very popular in the meta nowadays for the offlaner to pick that up. But it's a TA with Deso, it's a Bloodseeker now with Yasha Melshka and BKB. It's the physical damage that's gonna wreck your face.
They forcing the engagement 19.5 minutes in.
Why not?
There it is, blink and just Burrow Strike 4. The Observer Board gave more the information on Puck they needed. The Dream Call catching 2, but the Blood Right allows protection for Beast Coast. Even though the ship is coming in, Whisper will get hit pretty hard by this. He can Burrow Strike away. Even the Willow Wisp, it's like they're creating perimeter of just defense for this attack from Beast Coast, dropping the tower down to 1/3. Even the fortification being burnt from VG for protection. The trade-off is the tier 2 tower. Morphling is not joining in this fight.
Runes are gonna spawn, it's gonna be a 2 for 2. You'll take that if you're ViCi. You cannot fight. They have learned their lesson, and because Beast Coast have spent so much time in the last couple minutes trying to make plays, trying to find kills, that net worth disparity has gone from about 4-5K to 2-3. Still anybody's game, but Beast Coast definitely in the driver's seat for the next 5-10 minutes or so. It's the E-Blade on Morph that things start to get a little scary.
Yeah.
That Coddle just explodes. Clockwork then able to hook onto another support. You might start off a fight 3v5 if you're Beast Coast.
It's the sacrifice debate we've discussed before. That's okay. Like, okay, we did a lot of damage to the tier 3 tower on bottom lane. This is good, but only if we take out the tier 3 tower, because then you can open up the shrines. But Morphling is about to be combat ready. He buys the Ghost Head to begin with, so there's no direct damage into him that the TA can guaranteedly do.
Yep. And as we saw in the previous first series, rather, from Whisper, our Puck now with Arcane Rune, he has Blink, Veil, Bots, always just going to be playing side lanes, shoving waves, trying to extend the duration of this game. TA, Bloodseeker are very much mid-game carries.
Are you really going to try and... Oh, Keeper of the Light just walked underneath an Observer Board. That's what allows the hook shot forward right on top of the Keeper of the Light. Blood Right going to come a little bit too late, and Clockwork's already keeping up a Whisper. Hits the Burrow Strike, and that is one very dead Clockwork. Ori can actually waited half a second just to watch. And then BTs to the mid lane. Add the pressure and finish up the tier 1 tower. It's low. And if Whisper gets there in time, like he can blink and Burrow Strike, create some space, but the tower's already been taken by Ori's last attack.
Yeah, they're a little hesitant. ViCi Gaming, they want to get objectives, they want to push lanes, but taking team fights is really not their forte. You can see the pings coming out. Beast Coast really want to find kills somewhere. BKB coming out of the TA, and we've seen this. This is when Beast Coast start pressing the gas. They've got double BKB, their cores are ahead, still number 1 and 2 on the net worth chart, and there's really nothing ViCi have just yet to be able to win any kind of engagement as 5, so long as this Coddle gets his ultimate off. Level 2 now on the Ignis Fatus, 4 flickers.
I love how Beast Coast is so willing to just smoke up, even though the Bloodseeker was running down the river. He was just out of range of the Observer Ward, so ViCi Gaming didn't get this information.
I love this play, though. They're only showing these 2, and you got to get back to base if you're ViCi. They do not have Glyph, and that tower's already so low, and they're going to just dive base.
Yep, force it. If you get a single ice path, the Clockwork, well, Rupture is already out, and with the Meld Strike, Clockwork does not want to be here. But the tier 3 tower is the primary objective. Blood right in the back lines with the Burrow Strike. Puck is going to get silenced up, and Bloodseeker straight onto it. And DPYW, he's almost bleeding going back into base, and this is why Bloodseeker's moving so fast at initiation at the start. giving them all the buffs they need. Puck is dead without buyback available. Another Blood Ride, creating a perimeter for the Burrow Strike. And man, the Ogre just dies so instantly. You jump forward, but now the issue, the Will-O-Wisp over on 3. ViCi Gaming underneath almost their own fountain are being hunted by beastcoast. We're 23 minutes into this game, and the bottom lane of Rax has been shattered. beastcoast playing such a fast tempo, which ViCi Gaming just can't keep up with.
You gotta see this coming though. This is this team's identity. This is why they had such a run at TI. They get their cores ahead, they get the items that they need to go win the game, and that's exactly what they do. Like, what did you think they were? You thought you were gonna be able to farm this out until 45 minutes and casually stroll your way to a win? beastcoast are coming to fight and battle, and if you don't want to go toe-to-toe with them, you're gonna be forced to watch your structures die. That's just sick. Did you see how they both BKB'd early just to actually finish off the tower and start hitting structures?
Yep.
It forces ViCi to actually be the ones that are aggressive. Otherwise, you lose your base with no contest. But because Coddle then is easily able to get off a huge Will-O-Wisp, like ViCi have no play there.
That's what I love most about beastcoast, and we'll get to see it again. Like, they play objective-based gaming so well, and it's not just unbridled aggression. It's aggression to make the opportunities for those objectives. Kill a hero means I can kill a Rax. Like, K1's not even involved in that fight. He's just sitting back. It's great.
It's just easy. And that actual fight was after the BKBs had already faded, because beastcoast had used those cooldowns to gain advantageous positioning. Something
There's a courier with an ultimate orb. He's going to fly right over the top. Bloodseeker is the primary objective. How much damage can they do? He's still got BKB available, but the E-Blade pop, they do a lot of work with actually DY. He died to Chris Luck, who was also there, but now Chris is in the middle of this fight with the BKB. He can just walk straight out of the puck control. More support is arriving from beastcoast. Epicenter from Whisper. Well, it'll make ripples.
Roshan's up. Slight miscue there.
Surprised he just burnt the BKB too. Really feeling like he had a chance to fight.
I mean, in theory, he does. If he had got that blasted somehow on the Ogre with like a Maelstrom proc, able to heal up, all of a sudden, perhaps you are turning things around.
Seeing another Dagon puck. Are we going to grab both the bounty runes from bottom, giving a 4-for-4? And Whisper, silenced, creates a couple of problems. This man really needs to get himself a Yule Scepter. Phase shifting up, they want to wait for him, but just a straight blink down the lane. He's going to try and TP. No one's in range. Nope. They went the wrong direction.
It's also important to note, beastcoast took the most beneficial Rax when you're playing Dire. If you can kill the bottom, you force the enemy away from Roche, and it makes it so much easier to play this defense of the Roche pit that we saw in that previous series, NIP versus VP. You can just camp the pit. At some point, somebody's got to go bottom. It is a bit easier for ViCi because the puck has bots, but he's also their primary playmaker. So it means that if you have vision of him, you know that you're able to perhaps get a slight lead in terms of the damage output in the middle of an engagement if you then choose to get aggressive and cross the river.
I just like the information game as well from VG. It's one of the greatest things for a Clockwork. Just like you continuously rocket the pit. It's not like the ancient apparition blast we saw earlier today where you gotta wait for the right time to hit the fight. It's like, no, I'll just rocket. I'll always keep a close eye on this. And if you want to go in TA, we can also split the fight up with Cogs.
And don't sleep on Paparazzi, though. ViCi definitely not out of this.
Definitely.
Orfling, especially with the Ogre buff.
He's already up to 3.2k. Like, he's got the same net worth, like, short by 400. Like, the difference of 400 net worth between the Bloodseeker and the Morph.
Yep. At this point, the Morph starts to farm faster than anybody else on the map. It's why that gold lead for beastcoast is shrinking every minute that passes by without any sort of movement. Although TA, they'll be able to finish off his sheepstick in just a couple moments.
Very happy to have that. Won't be so happy to keep getting hit by these torrents. E-Blade pop. Keeper of the line down to 200. Clockwork hookshots himself in, but he gets cogged and blocked up by Chris Luck as well as Jakira. They'll burn the BKBs. PYW able to go step as well as one charge up, but Whisper will be there with his own epicenter to get that follow-up kill. And under the Will-O-Wisp, Eurus caught in a little bit too deep. He chased himself into the escape, but he's getting pulled back in. Now Morph's back over with the waveform out. There's 3 heroes down for beastcoast, and they want a little bit more. K1 has to stay and fight. Inside the Blood Rite, goes to the tree line. Chris Luck, can he actually help out his teammate here? He blinks away, but he got X. He'll be coming straight back into the fight. No BKB to protect. And he's hiding inside the meld. The Colts just push him around. And VG Gaming wipe Beast Coast Coast in the mid lane.
That was such a sick fight from ViCi. They did everything right. The morph opening up on the Coddle, so he's forced to rush the Will-O-Wisp. But most important, the ViCi supports make themselves the target. You'll see PYW just go in. He's trying to finish off the Coddle. He'll end up dying here, but he's got buyback. So he trades his life for BKB, for Epicenter. This is so worth for him as Bloodseeker. He ruptures the Ogre and just chases him, who then stands still. It's just baiting out this BKB. All of a sudden now, you're caught in no man's land. You've got absolutely no spell immunity. You're dead. Backlines have already been absolutely destroyed by Eurus. That's exactly how you want to play this fight. Roshan goes down. And suddenly this game firmly back in control for ViCi.
It's like Beast Coast did a lot of the damage on bottom. We knew the bot, like Paparazzi was always going to be like your win condition for ViCi Gaming. It just looked like he was going to be shut down, have no space to go. Like it was kill after kill after kill coming in the way of Beast Coast. But ViCi Gaming have the control. They have Aegis the Immortal on the Morphling. And this means a lot of pressure to be applied. I also like Whisper. He was thinking about going for the Aegis contest, but he needed to spawn 1 second earlier and he would have been fine. An Aghanim Scepter is now completed for Ori. Staying at level
so
1,
sick.
staying at level 1 Dagon and finishing the Aghanims. Clockwork, gonna hook shot himself in, looking for that easy pop over on Whisper while the back lines, the bigger kill will be over towards Ori as a big streak to end in favor of Chris Luck. And K1, you know he wants more. He's already used his Rupture. Eurus waiting in the tree lines for his own stun. Chris Luck trying to hide invis, but he's underneath the Radiant Sentry. And it looks like VG are already backing out.
Yeah, that Axe pickup. You wonder why they take Puck into Bloodseeker. A big part of that is, we discussed it. Beast Coast, these BKB timings are in fights. That's what they look to win the game around. And now, if you pop BKB on either core and you get coiled, you're just stuck. You want to blink out, that's a 4.5 second stun. By the time it fades, you're in some deep trouble.
I like this from Beast Coast. They're trying to force into the tier 3 tower. There is a Hex over on Kunkka, but it'll be pulled back by the X-Mark to spot. So he'll be fine, but with Liquid Fire, they push him pretty hard. X-Mark is going to be on the Morphling, allowing him to get very aggressive. And they just pull him back.
Just whittle down these Beast Coast heroes, try and bait out spells, most importantly, kill these supports.
Got no creep wave. They can't take out the tower just yet. And VG know it. They're coming out to be aggressive. Clockwork Rocket scouts out Whisper on the retreat. They'll sandstorm quickly, but if he hits the right line into the trees, the ping is almost right. Just go for the bounty rune, and you've got him. Looking for the money. And getting his hand caught in the cookie jar.
Does grab the bounty. They get both bounties, actually, but this could be a tough fight.
They're going for more, but into the TA trap. Hex right on top of DY, and they're going to push them up with the blinding light. DY will fall. Eurus at least wave himself out of the light, but he's actually tipped himself.
That's good.
Well, Aegis the Immortal will break. There's a Manta Style available as well as an E-Blade. Clockwork wants to help out. He's coming as fast as he possibly can. And Morphling still up on the hillside. They'll drop another TA trap, giving him that information. Waveform down, but they stick with him, looking for the Burrow Strike. It breaks the Linkosphere. PYW, no, the Ice Path. He'll end up catching both of them. Eurus is dropping. He'll E-Blade pop himself. They can't do any damage into him. The Dream Caller's down. The Burrow Strike into the trees, but he's going to go. Morphling down for the count. But you know Beast Coast is Beast Coast. They want more, but they won't find it. VG complete their TPs away to safety, and they'll have to defend the top lane Ori shoved.
I gotta say, I love watching Schofield play Coddle. It's very understated, but he's constantly hanging on Ori. He should be okay, he's got Blink. He's always using Chakra to give the right hero lower cooldowns. We see him doing it with Sand King when they're trying to chase, TA when they're sieging, even Bloodseeker off cooldown when he's got nothing going on to try and get that Rupture back up ASAP. And Beast Coast, man, they looked out of it for a second, but they've fought back. Lincoln's coming out for the Bloodseeker. You've got to be so careful fighting against them. If these supports stay alive, you can see how much control they offer. The Coddle ulti, the Jakiro Ice Paths, like it's just so, oh, whoa.
No, yeah, that was
a bit too far.
That was too far.
I believe it's 1,300 units in a quarter of a second. If you move further than that, you don't take Rupture damage. So when you're X back that far, it's not so harmful.
Yep. Just means that Kunkka has to do the long run, or that Rupture can be brutal.
Next Roche is going to be super key, but it won't be up for 4 minutes at least. This is the phase of the game. You start to get a little scared as a Beast Coast fan. It is a Morphling. Ori's Puck continuously pressuring this bottom lane. He's definitely the target for this Beast Coast side. He's so squishy, no Lincolns. No real innate survivability if he were to get jumped. They don't have any save on ViCi, save some counter initiation.
But they're getting so much physical pop damage, building in for what's well, it's actually going to go for a Daedalus. I was wondering if you'd think about the Bloodthorn, but Chris Luck is just going to go straight out for pure damage, and his control factor comes from the Scythe.
Are scanning.
I'm all right with that. It's kind of a player preference thing. The Lincolns on the K1 Bloodseeker is the only question mark I have. I wonder if something like a Satanic, if even just for the status resist, could have been better, or if you're wanting survivability at least. But a Butterfly in this game would be quite nice. Maybe even an earlier MKB. Nullifier, I don't know.
No.
I trust K1. What am I saying?
It's player choice. Whatever makes you feel good. I just like to see some of these Yule Scepters start to appear, especially the one that's now arriving on the SK. That's flying over the top of the SK. This is just going to make it more elusive for ViCi gaming, because I feel like ViCi, when they start these fights, has been a little bit too easy just to get that quick, straight pop. And the ones that do win for Beast Coast is when ViCi's going like up into high ground, or you just have a really great position from Skullfield.
Yeah. If you it's all about fighting with vision. We saw how ViCi want to take fights, whittling down the enemy, you get out a rocket and X into some harass damage and baiting out these spells. Get these BKBs used. You don't want to just take an immediate 5-on-5 like this.
How quickly can Eurus go down? The Ice Path will hold him there. The Will-O-Wisp holding 3 players as well. He waveforms out of range, but the Clockwork still trapped inside of his own cogs, being pulled back in by the Will-O-Wisp. He's starting his own TP. The Ice Path will end up canceling that one. In the backlines, Keeper of the Light was picked off. Puck was looking for it. He's hiding in the trees. But Bloodseeker, you know what he wants? It's to have that Lincoln Sphere be broken. Make sure the item is useful. Make sure it works. They really want to try and fight this still. East Coast is starting their own retreat. That illusionary orb, it's the distance and speed.
Under attack.
Buff up instead of the Warning Rift.
Somebody is going to have to buy a Nullifier soon. There's so many Ghost Scepters on this Radiant team. You got the E-Blade on the Morph. One's on Clock. Ogre's picking one up in a couple moments. It's just going to get more and more difficult for Beast Coast. Luckily, again, it's the supports. They are the heroes that offer all the team fight. You've got plenty of damage if people can just stay still for a couple moments. But that's easier said than done.
Just, can you just like hands off keyboard for 2 minutes? Gentleman's agreement. You get the first punch.
Bounty runes have spawned, but nobody seems interested in going to grab them just yet.
Oh, Puck's going for the bottom one.
Come on, guys.
Ow. They were too busy farming Ancients. Looking for the clearance and then into the stack. SK will get both the ones on top. So it's still a 2-for-2 trade-off.
He's in such a perfect position. Ori, though, wow, just barely missing him. It's like watching a horror movie. You don't know how close you came.
Has he waited out, though? Like, the aggression's coming in from Stinger and K1. Has he drawn up? No, he does not. SK was there for it, too. It's just a blink and TP away to safety.
Like, they're trying to act like sheepdogs. Push them back towards the TA, lying in wait.
Start changing this Beast Coast to, like, collies. Greatest sheepdog ever. Moving on.
BKB up on Eurus now. They'll be able to immediately kill that Will-O-Wisp if he's caught underneath them with the immunity up. More importantly, there's no real control left for Beast Coast. You cannot 100-0 this Morph reliably unless you somehow strike right away, because there's not enough to cancel. You need 3 disables.
You may need more. Xiao Yi just completed up a Lotus Orb. There's an extra layer of protection that's going to be applied. And now, where's your target? DY reveals himself. The Rupture's out. Fire Strike as well. The Ice Path is pretty decent. And maybe with the Will-O-Wisp be pulled in. He actually has to go in for that BKB. The Ogre brought back Ori so low in life. Chris Luck looking for the side blade hit. Unable to claim a PYW. That's the target K1's at least going to go for. But who's your better one? Kunkka now stranded without his immunity. They just open up in the BKBs. Beast Coast waited so long to use them. And now they let him rep. Looking for a new target. Into the blast you come. Combining with the Ice Blast. Everything will hold in place. VG Gaming, who have to commit another buyback. This one on the Clockwork. Puck. Yeah, Blood Rise there. If you want to jump this, you're going into danger zone.
Here's where things get really scary for ViCi, because you're going to hit 25 on Chris Luck. We've seen how much damage you can do in just a Hex. Imagine what happens when he starts meld hit bashing. And if he gets Coddle Chakra, he'll be able to do 2 hits immediately. 100% stun lock on any of these ViCi heroes is incredibly difficult to live through, especially if there's a Bloodseeker in range. Who's finished that Mjolnir, he'll be going for Abyssal next, trying to add more and more single target control. They know that as long as they can make themselves the focus of ViCi's lineup, the supports won't be. They'll be able to get those Ice Paths off, the big Will-O-Wisps. And Ori, man, he has got an X on him right now. He's gonna play so cautiously. You saw it. He almost died in just a Hex. PYW with a huge hook saves him, but of course throws his life away to do so.
But they're finding again, like, here we go, more and more layers of protection. The Lincoln Sphere's arrived. The I guess the second one. The Lincoln Sphere is also, the Crimson Guard is on the Clockwork. So they're starting to build in this resist.
I mean, it's the same for beastcoast, though. Look at the Coddle. He's gonna have a Crimson Guard of his own in a couple moments. He's all approaching 2k HP. All of a sudden, he's not easy prey for this Morph any longer. Jakiro with the Force and Glimmer, he's on 2k HP as well. And there's a refresher on this Roche. Most times you maybe prefer the Aghanims. When you have a Coddle, man, this is game winning if you're able to pick it up. This Roche may just dictate who wins this first game.
Oh, there's a jump in. Keeper of the Line being initiated on Puck. The Lincoln Sphere's already been broken. Skulker is able to hide in the tree, and now he gets a 4-man hit with the Blinding Light, pushes him out of the Ice Path. It won't stop K1 from moving in, trying to look for his own fight. Hook shot forward. They really want this Keeper of the Light down, and he will be without buyback available, but the Puck loses his life. Here comes your SK. Pyro strike the backline, keeping Zhao Yi controlled up and stunned, with the Ice Path from Stinger doing even more work, giving Chris Luck his space to do the damage. But who's it going to go into? The focus still over on the Conquer, but Chris Luck being pushed back by Eurus with the E-Blade pop, and then the Pyro Strike forward against its own double stun, and maybe they have enough. Yes, they do. The Templar Assassin will end up falling. Waveform charges. They move from one target to the other, but K1, he's buffed up beyond belief. He is lifting, but he's also getting lifted. Down he will go. The Bloodseeker has no buyback up for the TA. The Melt Bash, it connected to Eurus, but Eurus, a triple kill. His E-Blade pop, and then, yeah, gets him more life back. More, that's bounce. Oh, shot. BYW thinking he can get Chris Luck. The urn charge is problematic. Stinger should be able to finish the job. The TA traps there in case he runs north, but he runs down and then begins the TP. No stun, nothing to actually stop him. That's a Clockwork getting out, who initiated on one of the most dangerous heroes at Beast Coast, but lived to tell the tale.
Dude, Eurus is playing near flawlessly, man. The only reason ViCi have any prayer in this fight is because the Morph is single-handedly slaying heroes. Twice, his Lincoln's absorbed the Scythe from the TA. It's a big trouble right now. They don't have enough to cancel. This fight is good for Beast Coast if they were just closer, but unfortunately, neither big core is in range just yet. Chris Luck was able to take out Ori. This fight was 4-on-4, core for support, but as you can see, PYW with the Ghost Scepter.
Coming back live, the initiation started on the SK. We look towards Roshan and Whisper. Man.
This Roche is gonna die real fast with the Morph in the pit.
And there's little they can do to stop it. No SK, no Bloodseeker. No real strength to fight from Beast Coast. All they can do is keep that side lane pushed out and keep the creep waves away from their base.
Very intuitive play as well. Eurus is not just going to get the Aegis, he'll also finish his Butterfly. If you look at the Beast Coast heroes, none of them itemized for an MKB. They're going greedy. Daedalus on the TAs. We've already seen Bloodseeker going for the Abyssal. All of a sudden, Morphling will have 35% more effective HP against physical damage, and even more importantly, if you juke a Meld Strike as an example, you're not going to get bashed, you're all good.
I'm loving this Clockwork vision. PYW was even baiting the hook shot. Defensive dire orbs start getting planted down. They know they're going to lose this tier 3 tower. The Blood Right combining with the Blast won't help a lot. They even fortify to keep the catapults alive. VG Gaming, they want to enter, and they want to enter now. With Crimson Guard to protect, their real creep wave will arrive. Blinding Light making it difficult. The hook shot will be a little bit of a stray. And he also Rupture has moved out of the Blood Right, so there's no silence. He can still play with the cogs. And Eurus will babysit him. More Blinding Light, giving that level of protection. Missed chances galore. The Ice Path and the Macropire Stinger cutting this VG Gaming lineup in half. Getting hit pretty damn hard. Eurus going to waveform himself up. He's actually morphing up, so he's ready for the hit onto the Jakiro. They're trying to protect him. Another Blood Right going down, another quick silence, but the ship will end up hitting onto Stinger. Buyback to Valor, but K1's into the back lines. Looking towards PYW, and now you've got a little bit of trouble. The Will-O-Wisp is down. DY, he's not inside of that, but they want the other target. It's K1 looking for his own fight, but maybe Eurus thinks he's got one of his own. Turns around, the Keeper of the Light dropping down low. Templar Assassin, he's back at base. He needs to come and get back into this fight. He did get out the epicenter. Got the Ice Path, holds him in position. Stinger doing the work. Now Norway gets the TP back in again. He cannot return towards the fight, leaving now stranded. Poor Conquer to die. You know who's joining him? Morphling, that's number 1. Now we go for number 2. The gem is dropped. Morphling, Lincolns will break. Whisper up on the hill. 4-star Koshi just pushing him back up again. Burrow Strike's available, but they're waiting for the range of the Ice Path. There it goes.
That was
VG Gaming repelled back out of East Coast base.
That's all Chris Luck. He messes around inside the enemy base, pressuring tier 3, forces Ori to use not one, but both coils, and then you'll see right here, that creep wave, that's the only way Ori's gonna get into this fight, and he's gonna teleport in. It just dies. Whisper, huge stun, another huge ice path. They identify this creep. It actually just dies to the sand, so it doesn't even matter. But that's all. Chris Luck, he forces this fight. It's not a 5-on-5. You're missing your huge core in this puck. And again, the refresher squandered as well. The entire Aegis advantage was taken away by beastcoast in that fight. Now they're going to threaten the high ground. They're trying to force a buyback on Paparazzi here.
Hell yeah, they are. If they can get that Morphling to have a long death timer, that gives them opportunity for the next fight. X marks the spot, Conker coming forward, ice path, won't be able to clip on anything, the tier 3 tower, there's your jump from TA. Looking for a quick target, but the phase shift from Puck and the Dream Call, catching 2 heroes, plus a couple of illusions. It's good news! Oh no! TA's down for 2 minutes, they get the stun as well, Bloodseeker, return it back to himself with the Abyssal Blade, Lotus Orb Reflect, and now they're in a hell of a lot of trouble, beastcoast, too many heroes dead, but who's the big one? K1 is in, he's trying to run away, Glimmer Cape help protect him, but a Keeper of the Light, he'll go down too, beastcoast, they just want to force the buyback, and it's so costly.
Oh, they got, man, not only do both cores get coiled, but it's before the Will-O-Wisp is back off cooldown. Still 5 seconds remaining when the TA died, and he has no buyback.
Yeah, watch that counter as well. Coddle's short by 60 gold. Everyone else has it on, apart from Bloodseeker, it's on cooldown.
They know that TA's is on cooldown. They know that Sand Kings is on cooldown. If you're ViCi, you can walk straight into the base and start beating on the throne. You don't need racks at this point. You've got an 80-second window with no TA.
Look at them hunting. They're trying to chase down Jakiro. You know, Glimmer Cape behind the tree lines. Puck,
no
Clockwork Rocket flies over him. Here comes your ice path, the hook shot, a little bit off target. He's wasting time, however, because ViCi Gaming, they're killing off the Jakiro. Yes, without buyback, but 26 seconds until you have both the SK and the Coddle up, and maybe they're a little bit stronger than the Jakiro. But that may not be enough time.
Ping the throne, there you go.
Tier 4 towers time, ViCi Gaming want to get this game 1 in the bag. And it looks like they'll have more than enough time. Nowhere near enough damage from Bloodseeker. He's already letting the Rupture go on DY. He will just stand his ground. Actually, just, okay, I'm next to the Ancient. I guess he'll attack that. The Clockwork isolating up the Bloodseeker inside the cogs. Fortification, buying some more time. And the battle is on. The defense, Eurus just BKB'd, pounding away at this dire Ancient. The Epicenter